Determination is an essential part of success. Determinants is also an essential part of grammar. Today, we can learn about determinants and articles. Welcome to English class.
Look at the picture. What do you see? You can see some shops, buildings, cycle, windows, floors, and many. Now you write 5 sentences about what you see in the picture, and you can use the words given in the box. You can write sentences like, this is a street in Paris. There are several shops here. These flower vases are beautiful. Those buildings are beautiful. That windows are closed. The words like this, that, those, that, several specify nouns about talking in a sentence. Those words are called determiners. Determiner is a word which identifies the noun that is being referred to in a sentence, which means determiner is a word that makes the reference of noun more specific. For example, this is a street. A street, they specify particularly this street. Next, those floors, those buildings, that windows. Like this, they particularly specify a noun. This is determiner. Now we can see the difference between determiners and adjectives. Determiners and adjectives perform similar functions but have some differences. Their functions are same, but it has some differences. Let's see what are they. First one, both determiners and adjectives modify nouns. A determiner indicates exactly which noun is being talked about in a sentence. An adjective describes a noun and gives us more information about it. Actually, adjective which only describes the noun. We have to identify it describes which noun, and also it gives only more information about it. But a determiner indicates exactly about which noun is being talked. Example, the monuments of Delhi are known for their beautiful architectural designs. In this sentence, we know beautiful is adjective. There is determiner. The determiner there points out exactly which monuments are being talked about. There specify the monuments of Delhi. But the word beautiful, it describes the noun about the noun designs. From the word determiner, there we can understand that monuments of Delhi are beautiful. Without the word determiner there, it is complicated to identify which design is beautiful. Do you understand the first one? What differences they have? See the second one. Adjectives can have different degrees of comparison. Determiners cannot be graded. Yes, adjectives have different degrees of comparison, but determiners do not have. Like sweet, sweeter, sweetest. It is different degrees of comparison. Like beautiful, more beautiful, and most beautiful. But we know that determiners do not have any comparison. Third one, adjectives may be placed either before or after a noun. A determiner can be placed only before a noun. Yes, adjectives can come before or after a noun, but a determiner can come only before a noun. So that only we are saying it specifies a noun particularly, so that it is called determiner. It comes before the noun, so we can identify it easily it specifies only this noun.
See the example. She has a charming voice. Voice is noun, charming is adjective. The adjective comes before the noun. Her voice is charming. Here it comes after the noun. Charming comes after the word voice. You see the upcoming sentences. You can see the determiners only before the noun. These books on the shelf. Which is determiner in this sentence? It is these. Which books we have to keep on the shelf? It is these books. These comes before the noun. You have several shirts to choose from. How many options you have? You have several options. For what? To choose the shirts. Yes, you have several shirts to choose from. The word several also comes before the noun shirts. Do you understand how we place the determiner? Fourth one. Adjectives are not affected by the quantity of the noun. It remains the same for both the singular and the plural form of the noun. Determiners can change according to the quantity of the noun. Adjectives remains the same even if the noun is one or more, but determiners will change according to the quantity of the noun, according to the singular and plural form of the noun. Let's see how. First sentence, a new book. Here A refers one new book. The new books. Here the word the refers several. The new books, several new books. For one book we use the determiner for several books we use the determiner the. New is adjective, but it remains same in both the sentences, but we can see the changes in determiners. What are the differences we have between determiners and adjectives? First one is determiner points out exactly, but adjective it describes only the noun. Second one, adjectives have different degrees of comparison, but determiners do not have. Third one, adjectives may be placed before or after a noun, but determiner can be placed only before a noun. Fourth one, adjectives are not affected by the singular and plural form of the noun, but determiners change according to the quantity of the noun. Now we can see about the types of determiners. We have different types in adjectives. In determiners also we have different types. First one is articles. The determiners in articles are a and the. Second type is demonstratives. Demonstratives determiners are this, that, these, those. Possessives determiners are my, our, your, his, her, its, their. Distributives determiners are either, neither, each, every. Quantifiers are some, any, much, many, several, a lot of. Interrogatives are what, which, whose. Now we can see detailed information about these determiners. First one, articles. Articles can be of two types. One is indefinite and another one is definite. A and an are the indefinite articles. The is the definite article. What is the difference between these two? Definite article, the is used before a noun to indicate the identity of the noun. Indefinite articles, a and an, used before a noun that is general or when its identity is not known. If the specific identity is known, it is definite article. If
the specific identity is not known, that is indefinite article. What is its specific identity? See the example. The theory of relativity is difficult. Which theory is difficult? Theory of relativity. They specified particularly the relativity theory is difficult. We identified the noun. So we have used the article there before the noun. One more example. Thank you for the advice you gave me. Here there is particularly identified about the noun, about the advice you gave me. This specific identity. We can see the example sentences. How the specific identity is not known in a sentence. Example 1. I have a cat. I do not particularly specify or mention about any particular cat. Simply I say I have a cat. I buy a car. This is also same. I do not mention about particularly what car I buy. Next one. I ate an apple. I give you the information just only I ate an apple. I ate an apple. The apple was juicy and delicious. We have two articles. One is an and another one is the. When an is used, the apple is unknown. I ate an apple. There is no specific identity. Listen clearly. The apple which I ate was juicy and delicious. Now the word determiner there, it specifies what I ate that was juicy and delicious. A is used before words that begin with the consonant sound, while an is used before words that begin with the vowel sounds. For example, an apple and orange. The word apple and orange begin with vowel sound, so we used an. Before the vowel sound, we have to use an. Before the consonant sound, we have to use a. The use of articles will be covered in detail in the next chapter. We can see about the uses of articles in next chapter detailedly. Do you understand? Shall we see the exercise in this topic? I explain you for few sentences. Remaining you do on your own. Now we can see the exercises. Fill in the blanks with appropriate articles. First one. Please help yourself to dash food laid out on the table. Identify the noun and find out either it is specific identity or non-specific identity. Noun in the sentence is food. It is specific identity. So you have to write the article there. Please help yourself to the food laid out on the table. Second one. Rishi's father bought him dash encyclopedia on his birthday. Noun in this sentence is encyclopedia. That is also specific identity. So you have to use the article the. Rishi's father bought him the encyclopedia on his birthday. My aunt bought dash expensive crockery set for the party. The answer is my aunt bought an expensive crockery set for the party. Crockery is noun. Before that we have an adjective expensive. With the adjective we have to write the article and expensive. The word expensive begin with an vowel sound, so we have to use an. My aunt bought an expensive crockery set for the party. Demonstratives are used to point to and indicate specific nouns. Pointing and indicating means like this one, that one, these are, those are. That is demonstratives. We have only 4 demonstratives. They are this, that, these and those. This and that are used to refer to a single person or an object. We use this and that to refer or to point out a single person or an object, only one. And also, this refers to things that are closer to the speaker. If a person or object, it is very close to us. That means if it is near to us, we use this demonstrative this. We use that refers to things that are at a distance from the speaker. If we have to point out a person or object that is far away from us, which is not close to us, then we can use the demonstrative that. To point out a nearer person or object, we use this. To point out a distance person or object, we use that. Example, this house was damaged during the earthquake last year. He mentions this house, which means he mentions the house which is near to him was damaged during the earthquake last year. Next example, that monument was built to celebrate the victory of Alauddin Khilji. That monument, which was distance from the speaker, which is not close to them. That monument was built for what? To celebrate the victory of Alauddin Khilji. That monument is not near to them, so they used the demonstrative that. These and those are used to refer to multiple persons or objects, more than one person. This and that are used to refer to a single person or an object. These and those are used to refer to more than one person. That means multiple persons or objects. This is singular form. These are plural form. These refers to things that are close to the speaker, like this. If we want to mention the closest person or things which is very near to them, but if it is in plural, we have to use a demonstrative these. If we want to refer to things that are distant from the speaker, we can use those for plural forms. Example, these antique plates were gifted to her by her aunt. These antique plates, that means which is very near to her, but it is plural in form, so she used these. These antique plates were gifted to her by her aunt. Those books were found in the library. Those books which were not near to them, so they refer those books were found in the library. That also in plural form, so they used those. See the nouns in two sentences, plates are in plural, so they used these. In the second sentence also, books are in plural, so they used those. Are you clear? Shall we see some exercise? Fill in the blanks with suitable demonstratives. First one. Dash cricket bats you see here were bought by my grandfather a few years ago. See the noun. Which is noun in this sentence? Bats. It is singular or plural? It is plural in form. And you see where they point out. See here, they point out very close to them. So you have to use these. These cricket bats you see here were bought by my grandfather a few years ago. The answer is these cricket bats. Answer is these. Second sentence. Dash dishes for today's lunch have been cooked by my brother. See the noun dishes. It is plural in form. So we have to use only these or those. These dishes. They mention the dishes which is near to them. These dishes for today's lunch. They have prepared it for today's lunch have been cooked by my brother. Answer is these. Shall we see the third one? Dash song on my playlist is my favorite. But dash song we heard yesterday is not so good. First, we can see the first dash. Dash song on my playlist is my favorite. Song is singular in form, so we have to use this. This song on my playlist is my favorite. Dash song we heard yesterday is not so good. Again, the noun is in singular form. We may have the doubt. We have to use this or that. But you see the word yesterday. So, here we mention the song we heard yesterday. So, it is not in present form. So, we have to use that. That song we heard yesterday is not so good. The song on my playlist is my favorite. But that song we heard yesterday is not so good. Do the practice in remaining sentences. Next topic is possessives. Possessives show to whom something belongs. Yes, possessives are used to show something belongs to whom about the nouns. The possessive form of me is my and you is your. Possessive form of he is his, she is her. For they, it is their. For we, are. And it, its. These are the possessives. My, your, his, her, their, our, and its are possessives. See the example. My house is far away from the school. Whose house is far away from the school? My house. The possessive form of me is my. Next one. He recently renewed his membership at the local library. He recently renewed his membership. Whose membership? His membership. Here the word his mentions the possessive of he. At the local library. Third sentence. I have packed our bags for the holiday. In this sentence, our is possessive. I said you. Our is possessive form of we. I have packed our bags for the holiday. We should not use the word we here. Instead, we can use are, the possessive form of we. Fourth one. Their house was burgled last week. Whose house? Their house. There is possessive form of they. Their house was burgled last week. Fifth one. The dog is chasing its tail round and round. The dog is chasing its tail round and round. Yes, the dog is chasing its own tail. So, we can mention the dog as it. The possessive form of it is its. So, the dog is chasing its tail round and round. We can see some example in the exercise. Fill in the blanks with suitable possessives. First one. Archit has misplaced his bag. Has he found dash books? In this exercise, in the given blanks, you have to fill the possessives. See, whose bag has misplaced? It is Arjit's bag. Arjit is boy. The possessive form of boy, he is his. So, just write the word his in the blank. The answer is Arjit has misplaced his bag. Has he found his books? Second sentence. Tina was studying outside. Dash books are lying in the garden. Who was studying outside? It is Tina. Tina is a girl. What is the possessive form of she? It is her. So, in the blank, you write the answer her. Her books are lying in the garden. Whose books? Tina's book. Tina was studying outside. Her books are lying in the garden. Third sentence. We recently shifted to a new house. Dash neighborhood is quite crowded and noisy. We recently shifted to a new house. We means our family, my family.
Here, the word includes me. So what is the possessive form of I? My. My neighborhood is quite crowded and noisy.
We recently shifted to a new house. My neighborhood is quite crowded and noisy. Do the remaining sentences on your own. This is very easy. You can complete it soon. In determiners, next topic is distributives. Distributives refer to a group of people or things, or it may refer individual members of the group. It refer group of people or things, or it may refer individual member in the group. Distributives are either, neither, each and every. Either is used to indicate one of two options or both. Either is used to indicate one options or both from two. Example, either candidate is suitable for the part, which means one candidate is suitable for the past. Next example, the billboards were erected on either side of the flyover. Here, either mentions both sides. On both sides of the flyover, the billboards were erected. So they used the word either distributive. Next one, neither. Neither is used to show that none of the options are acceptable. That means none is suitable or not acceptable. Example, neither of the two pairs of shoes fits me. That means two pairs of shoes also does not fit me. So they used neither of the two pairs of shoes fits me. Third one, each is used when we refer to individual members of the group. Every is used when we refer to the group as a whole. If we want to refer individual member in a group, we can use each. If we want to refer the group as a whole, we can use every. Means if we want to refer group as a one, we can use the distributive word every. Example, each child was handed a satchel with notebooks and stationery. Each child means individual child was handed a satchel with the notebooks and stationery. We can consider like each child in a class was handed with a satchel with the notebooks and stationery. Every group was given 10 packets of rice. Here combined all the group into one, and they mentioned every group was given 10 packets of rice. Either is used to indicate one of two options or both. Neither is used to show that none of the options are acceptable. Each is used when we refer to individual members of a group. Every is used when we refer to the group as a whole. These are the things we have to remember when we are using distributives. Shall we go to the exercise? Yes. Heading. Fill in the blanks with either, neither, each or every. At 8 a.m., our train entered Bengal. The change was immediately obvious to Rani and me. At 8 a.m., our train entered Bengal. To me and Rani, change was immediate need. Dash way we looked. The landscape was tinged with greenery. The answer is every. Every way we looked, the landscape was tinged with greenery. Every way we looked means they looked in many ways and they combined into one. Say they used the word every. See the next line. Dash of us had come this far from our dusty village in Gorakhpur before. Neither of us had come this far from our dusty village in Gorakhpur before. Both of us of us had not come this far, so that they used neither of us had come this far from their dusty village in Gorakhpur before. Soon the attendants on the train started coming by, asking if dash of us wanted anything for breakfast. See the points and write the answer. The answer may be either or neither. Think and write. We only asked for a cup of tea dash. Dash of us had much money and we wanted to save dash penny for our trip to Kolkata. Think and write the correct answers. Read the sentences twice or thrice so that you can understand the correct meaning. Then it will be easy for you to choose the right answer. Next topic is quantifiers. Quantifiers denote numbers or quantity. To mention the numbers or quantity, we use quantifiers. They can be used with countable as well as uncountable nouns. Some commonly used quantifiers are some, any, much, many, several, few, a few, the few, little, a little, and the little. These are the common quantifiers. Let's see how to use and where to use these quantifiers. Examples: there were many spectators at the game. Second one, a few mangoes got spoiled because of the heat. In these two sentences, they used the quantifiers many and a few. Let's see how to use this and why they used these quantifiers in these sentences. First, we can see about little, a little, and the little. Little, a little, and the little are quantifiers that are used to indicate a very small quantity before uncountable nouns. So if we want to refer the uncountable nouns of small quantity, we have to use these words. Usually, little may refer to the remaining amount that is left. It is used to mention the remaining amount which is left. Example: the old lady has little money left with her. The old lady does not have much money, but that mentions here old lady has little money left with her. It is in the form of little negative, not much. Now you see, the old lady has a little money left with her. Here the quantifier a little mentions she has some money with her. It is positive in tone. That is the difference between little and a little. A little also only a small amount of money. That also she have that small amount of money. But when we use the quantifier little, she has not much money. That is in the form of negative. A little in the form of positive, that she has some money. Now we can see the example for the little. We must save the little money that we still have with us. This quantifier the little says we must save the little money, a very little money that we have, that still we have with us. We have the money, from that we have to save the little money. It's easy to identify where we have to use the little, because it usually refers small amounts, and also that is followed by a noun. From that we can understand we have to use the little. If the word that is followed by a noun, we have to use the little. See the sentence: we must save the little money that we still have with us. So after the money, that is followed in the sentence, so we have to use the little. Only for the little that is followed by a noun. Do you understand? Is it easy to find the difference between these three? Now we can see the differences for few, a few and the few. This three also remains the same pattern like little, a little and the little. But major difference is we use little for uncountable nouns, but we use few for countable nouns. The same like little, few means not many people or things. Example, I have few friends, which means I do not have many friends. Yes, this few is used to say that there are not a lot of people or things to refer. A few means some people or things. We have some people or things to refer. Example, I have a few friends. I have some friends. I have a small number of friends, which is positive in form. Few means not many. A few means some. The few children we spoke to were very happy with the changes made in the swimming pool. Actually, we spoke with a few children, but not all. We spoke only with a small number of children, but we have to include all of them, so that we use the few. The few children we spoke to were very happy with the changes made in the swimming pool. Do you understand? If you understand the concept, how and where to use few, a few and the few, it will be very easy for you. I think now you are clear with both little, a little and the little, and also few, a few and the few. Now we can see about some, any, much and many. Some refers to a reasonable amount of something. Usually it is used with uncountable nouns, but sometimes may also be used with countable nouns. Some is used as a positive statement. Could we have some steamed rice and chicken stew for today? Can have only limited rice and chicken for lunch. So they have used the quantifier some in this sentence, and they used with uncountable noun. On some days I like waking up later than usual. On some days, some particular days I like waking up later than usual. This usually we do on every Sunday of the week. Like that, on some days I like waking up later than usual. But see the noun, it is days, that is countable. I said we can use the sum for both countable and uncountable. Sum is used for reasonable amount of something. Keep this in mind. Any usually carries a negative meaning in a sentence. It is used with uncountable nouns and plural countable nouns. See the example. I do not have any books to read over the weekend. Sentence carries the negative meaning. I do not have any books. We cannot say I do not have some books to read over the weekend, because this sentence carries negative meaning, so we have to use only any. And see the noun books. It is plural and also countable. Next example. She does not want any help. All she wants is some time. She does not want any help. What she wants is only some time. Does not need help. It carries a negative meaning in a sentence, so they used any. It is used with uncountable noun help. Uncountable noun is help. I do not have any books to read over the weekend. This any is used with plural countable noun. She does not want any help. All she wants is sometimes. Here any is used with uncountable noun. It's so easy to understand, right? We can see about much and many also. Much and many are used to show a large quantity or number of something. If we want to mention or indicate a large quantity, we have to use much and many. Much is used with uncountable nouns and many is used with countable nouns. How much time do we have to complete the test papers? Time is uncountable, so we used much. Next sentence. How many minutes are left for the bell to ring? This sentence, minutes is countable, so we used many. In before sentence, time is uncountable, so we used much. To mention large quantity or large number of something, we use much and many. In determiners, last topic is interrogatives. Now we can see how to use the interrogatives. Interrogatives are used for asking questions. If we have an interrogative word at first, then sure it is a questioning sentence. Some commonly used interrogatives are what, which, whose, how much and how many. We use what to get some reason or to get an answer. There we use the interrogative what. Next, which we use to mention a thing or to refer a thing, we use the interrogative which. We use whose to mention a person. How much is used to indicate number or quantity which is uncountable. For countable, we can use how many. Do you understand where to use which interrogative words? See the exercise. Fill in the blanks with suitable interrogatives. First sentence. Dash lesson are you talking about? Which lesson are you talking about? Second sentence. Under dash supervision have you lifted the toddler? Under whose supervision have you lifted the toddler? Third sentence. Dash bag has been stolen. Which bag has been stolen? In the first sentence, which lesson? It is talking about which one. In the second one, whose supervision? Talking about a person. Third one, which bag? It is also about a thing. Do you understand how we use this interrogatives? Do the remaining sentences on your own. Now we can see about articles. Take page number 35. We can see where to use indefinite article and definite article. We can see in detail. Articles. You know that articles can be of two types, indefinite and definite. The indefinite article is used for the following. Now we can see where we use the indefinite articles. First one, before a noun, which refers to any member of a group and not a specific member. If a noun do not specify a member of a group, there we use indefinite article a. For example, I want to read a book. Pew wants to see a film. I mention here I want to read a book. I do not specify any particular book. And also in the second sentence, Pew wants to see a film. He does not mention any particular film. They mentioned in common. So here we used a. Example, I want to read a book. Pew wants to see a film. Second one, before a countable noun, we use a. Example, a girl, a ship, a basket, a ball, a film. This before a countable noun, we use a. Third one, before a consonant or a vowel with the consonant sound. A word may be started with consonant or vowel letter, but if it sounds with consonant sound, then we use a indefinite article a. Examples: a library, a university. Examples: a library, a university. See the second one. See the second word, university. A word starts U, but the sound is consonant sound U. Why U? So we used indefinite article a. Are you clear about these 3 points where we use indefinite articles? Shall we see for the indefinite article an? Yes. First one, the article an is also used to refer to a non-specific person or thing. It is also used for the following things. This indefinite article an is also used to refer a non-specific. It does not specify a person or thing. First one, before nouns that begin with the vowel sound. If a noun that begins with the vowel sound, we have to use the indefinite article an. Example: an apple, an orchard, an oven. All these 3 words begin with the vowel sound, so we used article an. Second one, before nouns that begin with the consonant that has a vowel sound. Even if a word starts with the consonant letter, if that has a vowel sound, we have to use article an. Examples: an MLA, an NGO. Both starts with a consonant letter, but they sound vowel sound, so we have to use an. MLA, NGO. It begins with the vowel sounds. Third one, before words that begin with the silent H. In the following words, H is silent, but it begins with the vowel sound, so we have to use an. Examples: an ire, an hour, an honest boy, an honor. All these words begin with the vowel sound, so we used an. Now we can see about the uses of the definite article. Definite article is that is called the definite article. Let's see where we use this. First one, before a specific noun. Example: I want to read the book on ancient civilizations. I want to read the book on ancient civilizations. I mentioned here about ancient civilizations I want to read. So I used the before the noun book. Second one, before a superlative adjective. Whenever we use superlative degree, we have to use the. Examples: the most brilliant student in class, the tallest girl, the greatest work of art. The word most, tallest, greatest are in superlative form. It is superlative adjective, so we have to use the before it. Third one, before a noun that has been mentioned before. If we mention the noun a second time, that means if we mentioned it already, we have to use the before that noun. Example: this is a dangerous area in the forest. The area has been cordoned off. Example: this is a dangerous area in the forest. The area has been cordoned off by the forest officials. First sentence, they said this is a dangerous area in the forest. Second time, when they use area, they used the word the definite article because that area was already they mentioned in the first sentence, so they used the here. So if a noun already mentioned, we have to use the. Fourth one, before the name of a musical instrument, use the. She is practicing the piano. The violin has been lying unused for years. The word piano and violin are musical instruments. So we used the before those words. Fifth one, when we refer to the members of a profession as a whole. If we refer any professional members as a whole, we use the before it. Example, the police have failed to act on time. Police. They mentioned all the police as a whole. We used the before the word police. The police have failed to act on time. Next one. When we talk about a group of people or a certain class. If we talk about a group of people or a certain class, we have to use the. Like the rich and the poor live harmoniously in the neighborhoods. The words rich and poor are mentioned their class. So we used the before those words, the rich and the poor. Seventh one, to refer to well-known buildings or great works of art and music, like before musical instruments, for a well-known buildings or great work of art and music also we have to use the before those words. Examples, the Taj Mahal, the Qutub Minar, the Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is artwork. Taj Mahal and Qutub Minar are well-known buildings. So we used the before those words. Eighth one, before the name of a thing when there is only one of it. If we have only one in this universe, we have to use the before that word. Example, the sun, the moon. We have only one sun in this universe and also only one moon in this universe. So we used the before it. Ninth one, before proper nouns, which are the names of geographical features. Before proper nouns of geographical features, we have to use the before it. Examples, the Everest, the Atlantic Ocean. The words Everest and Atlantic Ocean are proper nouns of geographical terms. So we used the before it. Are you clear where we have to use indefinite article and definite article? Shall we see exercise about that? First one, fill in the blanks with appropriate articles. Fill in the blanks with appropriate articles. First sentence, there is undoubtedly dash element of mystery about the house. See the word element. It begins with the vowel sound. So we have to use an. There is undoubtedly an element of mystery about the house. Second sentence, dash unicorn is dash mythical creature. Unicorn is only one we have in this universe. Unicorn is the only one creature we have in our universe. Unicorn is the only one creature exists in this universe that is also mythical, that is apart, but it is only one creature exists in this universe. So we have to use the before the word unicorn. The unicorn. The unicorn is a mythical creature because it is countable. So we use a mythical creature. The unicorn is a mythical creature. Dash unicorn is dash mythical creature. Third sentence, it is dash easy task to convince him to join us. It is an easy task to convince him to join us because the word easy begins with a vowel sound. So we have to use article an. It is an easy task to convince him to join us. Do the remaining exercise on your own. Do the remaining sentences on your own. Next heading, complete the passage with appropriate articles. I remember being struck by dash deep pond shared between dash siblings. Remember being struck by the deep bond shared between the siblings. They mentioned particularly about siblings, so we used the before it. And the deep bond, they mentioned about their bond between siblings, particularly how is the bond between the siblings, so we used the before the word deep. The deep bond shared between the siblings. Wherever life took them, they always remembered to treasure dash connection they had. Dash few years ago, when there was dash unusual wave of violence in dash city that dash brother lived in. Dash sister made it dash point to catch dash next film to be with him. Regardless of dash differences in their character, their attachment grew deeper over dash year. Read the passage twice or thrice and complete the blanks. If you have any doubts, see the points we have seen already, where to use definite article and definite article, in which place we have to use. See the points and clarify your doubts, then complete the passage. Omission of articles. Articles are omitted in a sentence in the following cases. Yes, in few cases we have to omit articles in a sentence. Let's see what are the cases. First one, when the singular noun represents all the people or things belonging to that particular class. Example, man proposes, God disposes. In that, man is singular noun, but it represents all people, all mankind, human being. So, in that case, we have to omit articles. We should not use any article in this case. Second one, before names of materials from which things are made. Example, this string is made of gold. We should not use articles before the names of materials from things which are made up of. Example, like gold, silver, wood. This string is made of gold. We should not use any article before gold. Third one, with plural nouns representing the entire class. If any plural nouns represent the entire class, we should not use articles. Example, scientists are known for their dedication to their research. In this sentence, the word scientists mention everyone, all the scientists, researchers and many people about their entire class, their people. We should not use any article in this case. Fourth one, before names of meals, diseases, days, months and seasons. We should not use before names of meals. I had eaten breakfast. No articles before Italy. Rahul is suffering from chicken pox. It is disease. There is no article before it. Shiyuli will visit her grandmother on Tuesday. Before days, we should not use. Even though we specify meal, disease, days, month and season, we should not use articles. Come back in January. It represents month, a particular month, but we should not use any article. April is the hottest month of all. Word April represents season, so we should not use any article in this case. Fifth one, before the names of languages and disciplines, we should not use article. English is my favorite subject. We should not say English or the English. English is my favorite subject. One, he is an expert in theoretical physics. It is disciplines. We should not use any articles before these words. Sixth one, while referring to one's relatives. If we refer any one's relatives, we should not use articles. Example, uncle promised to get me a copy of the book. Here, before the word uncle, we should not use any article. Seventh one, in news headlines and notices. Before news headlines and notices, we should not use articles. Examples: Finance Minister tables budget for next fiscal year. This headline, there is no article in this. Blue sweater found in canteen. And here also no articles we used. Do you know why we omit articles? Because the omission of articles changes the meaning of sentences. How? Let me see through an example. The poet and the painter are no more. The poet and the painter is no more. Difference between these two sentences is only one word, that is article before the word painter, that is there. But it changes the meaning entirely. Example: the poet and the painter are no more. Here the sentence refers two persons, the poet and the painter. Poet is one person and painter is one person. Totally they mention two persons here. But in the second sentence, poet and painter are same. A person, he does two things. He became a poet and also a painter. So they don't use the before the painter. The poet and painter is no more. Sentence, they refer only one person but as two professions. This is how it changes meaning of sentences. So it is important to omit the articles wherever it is necessary. In the first sentence, the repetition of the definite article there indicates that the poet and the painter are two separate people. In the second sentence, the omission of the before the noun painter denotes that the poet and the painter refer to the same person. Now I tell you how to do this exercise. Insert articles where necessary and omit the unnecessary articles. We have to do two things in this exercise. One, we have to insert where the articles are necessary, and another thing, we have to omit the unnecessary articles. We have to remove the unnecessary articles. Before inserting an article, it is easy to omit. So if we see the sentence, we have to do either the given article is necessary or not. We have to find out first. First sentence, we planted few saplings on fertile soil that was prepared by the farmers. Here they used the before the word farmers. Is it necessary or unnecessary? It is necessary because farmers is specific identity, so we have to use the before it. So no need to omit any articles in the sentence. Now we have to insert. Let's see where we have to insert. Now you see, at first we planted few saplings in fertilized soil. We planted few saplings in fertilized soil. That is a right one, because few mentions only, not many. But a few, it refers we have planted some saplings. So a is necessary here. We planted a few saplings on fertilized soil that was prepared by the farmers. This is the right one. Second sentence, we were woken up by the throaty calls of the various birds at hill station we visited the last week. As I told you, first we can omit the unnecessary articles. We visited the last week. Before the days, month or week, we should not use any articles. So we have to remove the word the. And you see, we have the word hill station. It is particularly mentioned definite article. So we have to add the before the word hill station. We were woken up by the throaty calls of the various birds at the hill station we visited last week. Do you understand how to omit the unnecessary articles and how to add the articles where necessary? Follow this method and complete the reminders. I meet you in next class. Be good and be safe in your home. Take care.